Okay, this is Aaron again with Exalted Lamb 1, and I have my latest video that I had to slam together in one day. I've been sick. I was sick for 4 or 5 days, and I'm just starting to get over it last couple days. And so I want to apologize. My throat's a little bit off still, but I'm doing a lot better. Thank goodness. Thank the Lord. Oh, so I'm very thankful to get this out to you. I had to jam this, like I said, together. And man, we'll see if this is something or not. I just kept asking the Lord, like, are we in this or not? And I was looking for either something in the future, and I just kept getting stuff about now. So we'll see. It probably won't happen, but just in case, I have a lot of amazing stuff that might throw this completely, might start this here the next day. So I'm doing this around midnight, almost midnight on October 8th, my time. And so by the time it's posted, it'll be October 9th. And I'm looking at possibly, if this happens, some things that happen on the fourth day would be October 10th. By that, it will happen on the 9th and going into the 10th. So I'll go over that here very soon here. So let me get into this. Again, I am the Exalted Lamb 1 on YouTube, but Exalted Lamb 1 only on Telegram. And my motto has always been having no part in the worthless deeds of darkness, but instead exposing them. Ephesians 5:11. And hey, that's what I do. I know the Lord Jesus. He's my Lord. He's my master, and he's my best friend. And he wants me to share the truth about how the enemy hides things in predictive programming, movies and TV and all kinds of stuff, in iPad Go, all kinds of things. So anyway, that's kind of what I do, and I'm showing and I'm warning people of the sword that's coming. That's what I've been doing for years on this channel, okay? And that's, if you have a problem with that, if you don't think a Christian should do that, then go find somebody, go to another channel, and if you have any funky comments to leave, just don't bother. I will delete them in 2 seconds. Delete it. Bye. See ya. I am not an ultra-religious person. I'm a very, I believe real is refreshing. I'm as real as I can be, and especially I don't edit this really at all. What I say and everything, I don't go back and edit. So it's all off the cuff based on these slides I do. So without any further ado, let's keep going here. As I have in my thumbnail, the real Feast of Trumpets. Okay, as I shared in my last couple of videos, well, you can watch my last video. I'm talking about how this last full moon, which was on October 6th and 7th, was the real Feast of Trumpets, because 6 months ago from that was the start of the actual year in God's creation calendar. And I'll have a link in the description box. Well, I have a link in the description box in my last video. I'll just leave it there. I don't bother putting another one here on this one. But in my last video, link is in the description box for Mikal Shabbat Ministries, basically. And he goes through a lot of things on why, with the Word of God, and also with the, sun, moon, and stars, and all the scriptures in the Bible and everything, how the real start of the year begins, and even every month, and even every, how this all happens. So this is the turn of the year, is this time. The beginning of the year was back about 6 months ago, or 6 moon cycles ago, and then this one that happened on the 6th of October. Then the 7th is the first day of the next 6 months, and also basically starting a fall. So anyway, and also, like I mentioned here, I show here, October is the only month out of all the named months in the year, that in the Gregorian months, basically, that equals 666. So that's a suspect. I've shared that for years. But also the year 2025, 20 times 25 equals, and I'll show you over here, 20 times 25 equals 500. And in Strong's Concordance, in Greek, 500 is Antichristos, or the Antichrist. Okay, and so October is 666, and 20 times 25 just happens to equal 500, which is Antichrist. So Antichrist 666. Okay, that's just a possibility. Now, it looks like October may be massive right now, but we'll see. Again, this is my best guess on things I've been, the Lord himself been showing me breadcrumbs about this time. And even I've been doing this for a while, and I'm trying to find one of these guesses is going to be right. One of these massive educated guesses. And also the things I'm sharing in this video, there's just a small fraction of stuff I want to share. I know, and even more stuff I could research about this time. It's fraught with all kinds of, I'll just say, filled to the brim with all kinds of evidence I could bring. And I just had to throw this together with what I could do in a day. Okay, so I spent all day trying to throw this together so I can get this done before tomorrow and even the next day, the 10/10, when we should know if some of these things are going to happen. So let's keep going here. So as I had in my last video, in the Gregorian towards the top up here, of course, you had what a lot of people thought was the Feast of Trumpets. Okay, 22nd, 23rd, and 24th, really. Okay, but it wasn't really. And I told people all over the place on Telegram and everything that it was either something before that or after. This is a big red herring, and the way YouTube was allowing all these things, these videos to show up, and all these people thinking it's going to happen then, that's just not the case. Even if it's this, or even if this began something, it still wouldn't be it. And this is the real Feast of Trumpets. Okay, so this is what I had before, and this is on the Gregorian, and this is on the Julian. But now we have, instead of this being the end of the timeline, I believe it's the beginning, and we're really looking at the Julian on 9/23. And I've had so many things over the years on 9/23, dreams and such. 9/23, America's laid low. I had about 10 years ago from the Lord as a dream. And I believe it's very possibly the beginning. This is the pre-day. This is the first day. And then that's on these are all the dates on the Julian. And then below it are the dates 13 days later on the Gregorian. 30 days difference, I should say. These are the exact same days. So, for example, today or tomorrow, the day this is available, it's only for half an hour right now. It's 10/9. That's on the Gregorian, but on the Julian, the same exact date tomorrow for me is 9/26 on the Julian. Okay, and so this is what I'm saying, that we could possibly have a bunch of things kick off on the 26th of the Julian or 10/9 of the Gregorian. Same exact day. There's just a 13-day difference in how they track time. And originally, the United States and many other countries were on this Julian, and then it was converted from Pope Gregory and the Catholic Church to Gregorian. And by this time, it's definitely 13 days off. It was at that time 11 days off, and then how many hundreds of years have passed. The difference in how many days are in a year, and the calendar and everything. As far as, anyway, I won't get into all that right now. So anyway, that can be kind of involved to explain, but it's 13-day difference basically. And it just so happens to be that the timeline, when you have a 13-day difference, it's basically 14 days. And so it ends up, like I show over here, 23 is also 9/23 because of a 13-day difference is 9/23 at the beginning and at the end. It's just crazy how this works. Okay, so anyway, 9/23 on the Julian is 10/6 on the Gregorian, and then you have all the way through here. Now, these days on the Gregorian right here, and I'm just going to move the Julian off right here so you can see some of the events that will happen in a minute here. But first I want to share how, based on this timeline, the 12th day is when the Antichrist is born. Lightning falls from heaven, Barack Obama. In fact, in the Bible, it says in Luke 10:18, that Jesus said, "I see Satan as lightning falling from heaven," or lightning from the heights, which in Aramaic Hebrew is Barack Obama. And that's my first evidence of all my over 900 evidences that Barack Insane Obama is the Antichrist, and nobody else. No one else comes close. I have over 900 plus solid evidences, almost 1,000 now. Anyway, from the beginning of the United States, the birth of the United States, to the birth of the Antichrist on this timeline, the 12th day, I should say, just happens to be 249 years and 107 days. And check this out. The very first day, the pre-day was 24th of September. The first day is 24th of September. The pre-day is 23rd of September. First day is 24th of September on the Julian. And 13 days later exactly is October 7th. And that was that full moon. Look at that. I mean, that is insane. Also, okay, and then here it is, again, from the beginning of the United States to the beginning of the birth of the Antichrist, right here on the 12th, that's the 11th day. This is the 12th day of this whole timeline here. And look, we have 9/24 is the first day. This is the pre-day. This is the first day. You got first day through the 14th day, and this is the post-day. You got pre-day and a post-day. Pre-day and a post-day, and 14 days in between. Hopefully that makes sense. A lot of you that have watched me for a while know what I'm talking about. But there's the first day. 9/24 on the Julian and 10/7. The difference is 13 days. Okay, look at that. And then also from July 4th, 1776, the first day of the United States, technically, I guess. I mean, at least that's what we're told. to the first day of the timeline is 249, or 24th of September, and September 5 is hiding 2 plus 3. So 24th of September and September 23rd. 2 plus 3 is 23rd. So the pre-day, September 2 plus 3 is 5, September 23rd, and September 24th. Again, another thing that shows that. Again, here it is. The pre-day and the first day on the Julian equals 10-6 and 10-7. I hope that makes sense. Okay, so some of these events, again, all the events are going to be pinned to the timeline. Events of the timeline are pinned to the top of comments. Something to keep in mind. I'm a little off, of course, I've been sick, and I'm tired. I usually don't do these close to midnight, but I've got to get this out. So please forgive me for being off on some stuff or not, whatever. So I'm getting rid of this right now. And listen, I threw these first day events a few years ago. I started doing those, and I've added some over the time, because there were possibilities. But from here on is when I got dreams and visions of different things I know are going to happen, and not all of them. I don't know. My best is from predictive programming, gematria, all the stuff, all the symbolism things I've looked at over the years, thousands of bits of information, data, symbolisms, predictive programming pieces of all kinds, movies, TV, all kinds of stuff. And so I've formulated these things over time. Now, there might be some things that don't happen, but the major events will happen. I just don't know when exactly. And it's always been my speculation. So this is my massive guess all the time. Each time I put out something, it's my massive guess. Now, again, I'm saying right now, it probably won't happen, but if it does, then I'm on the money. And the numbers are on the money no matter what. Whatever they end up being, they will match these numbers somehow, because they are just, I'm going to show you again how a lot of these things match up amazingly. Okay, so anyway, so I'm going to get rid of this first day, and then my timeline is going to start with tomorrow, because for me it's another 20 minutes until tomorrow. Tomorrow is 10-9, and then these events will happen. Like, for example, on this timeline here, I just show a few things. Melania and Barron Trump will be killed. That's what it shows in a lot of things. Towards the end of the video here, I've shared this in many videos, much detail. So if you haven't seen those, I'm going to share a little bit some stuff at the end about them and everything, so you can see what I mean. I've shared way more, like 100 times more than what I'm going to share with you on this video, maybe more. I don't know about those details. But and then this is the third and fourth day. Fourth and fifth day, or children are taken by Jesus. All the innocent children are taken. And if you want to see any evidence of that, I have scriptures with downloadable documents below the title on this video in the description box. And then zombies, people that took the hokey pokey will turn to zombies. And then these made-up aliens that they've been printing up for years, and these chimeras and stuff will start to invade the United States. And then eventually, Stinky B.O., the 44th President, Obama and the new aliens, the benevolent aliens that will show up towards the end of the timeline, will basically destroy them, and then they'll be heroes in all kinds of ways. Anyway, and then here is the 7th and 8th day. Trump and Obama will die on this. This is the 7th and 8th day of the timeline. And then the 11th and 12th day is the mega tsunamis that hit both East and West coasts. Again, all this stuff I've shared, most of the stuff is in iPad Goat and many other TV shows, movies, music videos, all kinds of stuff I've shared over the years. And the very last day, again, there's more events that are pinned to the top of comments, part of my timeline. More events than just this, but I just kind of give you a rough idea here. In the very last day of the destruction of the United States, 23 cities are nuxels. I'll just say it that way. And that's the very last day, and this is the post day. And this day, 1021 and 1022, are the birth of the Antichrist to the world that they first see. Oh, he came back to life. And then guess what? Robo-Pope, Pope on a rope, the Pope that died last April 21st, Pope Francis, he'll come back to life. Okay, that's what all the predictive programming has shown for years and years and years. He'll come back to life. He'll be the false prophet to the Antichrist, Obama. Okay, so anyway, let's keep moving here. Again, Julian and Gregorian here. Julian timeline, Gregorian timeline. Okay, so for example, just show you some different examples. I have many more that I've figured out, but I'm just throwing a few things in here, and I could show a lot more. And if I had more time, I could even, usually I do a couple hour video, but this one should be a lot shorter. Okay, hopefully, Barron Trump and Melania Trump dead, for example, if you add these two together, English and reverse English, or reverse ordinal, English ordinal, reverse ordinal, same one but reversed, add those two together, you get 729, and backwards it's 927. Again, September 27th is when they're reported dead. It was September 26th, and then you add 13 days of that, and you get October 9th, and it's reported October 10th. Okay, hopefully that makes sense. Here's another example. Again, there's all kinds of ways to look at this stuff, and all kinds of, here, Barron Trump and Melania Trump assassinated, okay? And then this actually is predictive programming, the way it's said this way, of Trumple's future death on 10/1 on the Julian, and 9/30 on the Julian. So 9/30 is September 30th on the Julian, and then the next day, reported day of his death is 10/1. And that's when he's attacked in New York in Trumple Tower. And I've said that for years because there's so much predictive programming about that. And again, we have 5 plus 5 is 10, and 1 is 10/1. And we have 9 and 30 is 9/30, or September 30th, and the next day is reported day of October 1st. Okay, there's a lot of stuff. And here it is right there on the timeline, 9/30 and 10/1. See that? Okay, boom, right there. Again, 7th and 8th day on the Julian, 7th and 8th day on the Gregorian. This is actual days on the Gregorian. He's going to, again, if this timeline is correct, and it's very possible, very, very possible this could happen, but it might not. It probably won't. Anyway, and eventually it will. Eventually this will. I'm very convinced the Stinky BO. And then, by the way, I've said many times, Trump will die in New York. And that's New York equals 666 in English Sumerian, which is English Gematria times 6. And then Obama will die in Hawaii, where he was born. They both died places they were born. And Hawaii, in reverse English Sumerian, is 666. And I've shared that 1,000 times. So that's all coincidence? I don't think so. Okay, so also, look, check this out. I have a bunch of these, but I'm just throwing a couple out there. Donald Trump's big, beautiful bill will now cut $930 billion from Medicaid. See? 930 associated with Trump. 930, see? 930. And again, it's predictive programming in front of your face of what's coming. And then check this out. It's one of his books, Trump 101. Oh, look. 101 and 930. 930, Trump's big, beautiful bill. 930 billion. And then look, Trump 101, The Way to Success by Donald J. Trump with Meredith McIver. And by the way, her name in both names and the name together are these numbers. I'm not getting all that. It's just too much to share. Here you go. Trump 101. Okay, Trump dies on 101/10 October 1st. It could be December. Hey, if this doesn't happen in October, then we're looking at December possibly. Decem is 10. I don't think so, because I think, but we'll see. Who knows? But just keep that in mind. We could be looking at December. As if this doesn't happen. The Way to Success. Here's The Way to Success. 206. People even say 206. And 0 is hiding O, and that's why a lot of people say 206. Because O is the 15th letter of the alphabet, which is 15, or 1 plus 5 is 6. So this could be 266. 266, the 266th day of the year, is 923. Again, that's the pre-day on the Julian. And what do we have over here? We have 9 in the middle of 1 plus 1 is 2, 4, 924. Oh, look, the pre-day and the first day, 923 and 924 right there, hiding. And this is 266, the 266th day of the year is 923. And also another reason why the Pope will show back up, because Pope Francis was the 266th Pope. And he met with Obama back in 2015 on 9/23, the 266th day of the year, and blah, 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 blah. All kinds of. The Revelation 12 sign was on 9/23, the 266th day of the year. And the Pope's the 266th Pope. But there's all kinds of stuff. And then also right here, 199 is 1 plus 9 is 10, and 9 is 10/9. Again, that's tomorrow, when I'm saying that it's very possible several events could happen. Zelensky will be killed and reported on 10/10. Ukraine will get nuked. If this happens, then this is the timeline. Okay, if this is the timeline. If there's not the timeline, it'll be another timeline down the road. Okay, but this is my best guess so far right now as where I'm at, where things are at. Okay, hopefully, I mean, people are like, oh, it didn't happen, and so what are you gonna do? What's gonna happen? I'm like, okay, well, obviously it didn't happen. Then there's another possible one down the road. That's it. I just don't get people sometimes. They're not thinking things through. A lot of people, it's crazy. So. 10, 9. And then right here, check this out, is 1 plus 9 is 10, and then 1 and 4 is 10, 14. So you literally have the day that I'm saying possibly that Zelensky will get killed, Melania and Barron will be killed and report on 10, 10. And then this is when Trump will, in his own stuff, well, he'll be killed on 10, 1. October 1st on the Julian, you add 13 days of that and you get 1014. Imagine that. Wow, look at that. 10-1 on the Julian and 1014, 13 days later, 1014 on the Gregorian. Bam. And then I've said for years that he would die in Trumpet Tower for all kinds of reasons. I've shared a lot of those. Oh God, at least over 100 reasons, 100, all kinds of stuff. It's crazy. He's the tip of the spear. Trump Tower is a big spear. You look at it, it looks like a spear coming down. It's all kinds of stuff. Shared. And so Trump Tower is 169, which is 16 plus 9 is 25, and being the year, for example. 25. And then look, 101, October 1st. And then look, October 14th, October 1st on the Julian, and then 13 days later, October 14th on the Gregorian. And that's another coincidence. So we have October 14th on the Gregorian, year 2025, and then October 1st, 25. And that's a coincidence? I think not. Okay, anyway, and here's the one things I'm just showing you. This is the 7th and 8th day, and then 7th and 8th day. Again, this is how this is equals that. And then over here is when Melania and Barron, right here. Also, boom, this is also hiding. 10-1 is hiding, and 10-10 are hiding. 9-1-1 backwards. You know what that is, okay? 9-1 and then 1, okay? Backwards is 10, take away the 0, and then 10 is 1 plus 9. So see how this is hiding 9-1-1? Okay, 9-1 and then 1, I should say it that way, I can't say it. And how this is hiding the same thing? See that 1-10, 1-10, 1 plus 9 is 10. See, both when they're attacked is a version of this, and then when he's attacked on the Julian, it's a version of this, 101, okay? It's crazy, okay? Also, you have, here's the attack 9, 1, and then 1 back in 2001, okay, in the two towers. Because it represents, we're going to get two coasts that are going to be hit with mega tsunamis on the 11th day and 12th day, 11th day. See a big 11 here? Also, it represents, each one of these towers was 110 stories high. Again, October 1st is when Trump gets killed in New York. This is New York. This is New York, okay? It's crazy. And then 110, as far as the stories, how high they were, how many stories tall they were, is also 11 and then 0. 11 is made up of 10 and 1 and then 0, or 10-10, 10-10, 10-1, and 10-10. So 10-1 on the Julian, and you have 13 days of that, and you have 10-14, the death of Trumpel. You have Trumpel as one pillar and Obama as the other. And on 10-10, it's reported you have one pillar is Melania and the other one is Barron. They just, this is, oh man, there's so much to this. And then ultimately, both of those are 1, and then 1 plus 9 is 10. 10-1 or 10-10 is 9, 1, and then 1 backwards. Hopefully that makes sense. And then about the one that's going to happen to Barron and Melania, one of the possibilities is a plane crash, because I've seen it many predicted programs. For example, Donnie Darko. Donnie Darko, he gets a plane that crashes into his house, and before you see that, you see a woman and her child, and they're in the plane as it's going down. So a woman and child are killed, and then they crash into Donnie or Donald Darko. Donald, as in Donald Trumpel, okay? Donald Darko. And he's dark. There's a lot of things, if you ever watched the movie, there's a lot of things connecting, and people who've looked at it, including me, there's many things connecting. The numbers on Donnie Darko's arm add up to 88, and Trump equals 88. I mean, just tons of stuff. Tons of stuff. He's Trump. Okay. Anyway, so let's just keep going here. So we got, oh wait, also, what are we doing here? What did I do? I had an extra slide. Okay. And in plane crash, for example, one of the many reasons why plane crash, it either may be an actual plane crash that happens that kills them, or plane crash is just holding the numbers that supports this idea in all these movies and TV of the numbers. Okay, so for example, look, 924 is English Sumerian, and then we got reverse English Sumerian as 225, 2025. So the first day is 924. What happens a lot in most of these different, in all these different, days in the timeline, is each event will have numbers for the other days, the other events, including itself hidden. So for example, in plane crash, let's just say Melania and Baron are going to die in a plane crash. Okay, then this shows the first day of 9 in the middle of 24, 2025 this year. Okay, but it's also hiding 924 plus 2 is 926, 25. You see how that works? So you have the first day 924, and then 2 days, adding 2 days, and then 25. So that's one little trick they do. So 926 would be, again, 2 days from the first day. So the first day on the Gregorian was October 7th. Then you add 2 days, so that would be what that is, October 7th, or 924 on the Julian. Then you add 2 days, you get October 9th, like I was saying, which is tomorrow, and then 25, the year. Okay, hopefully that makes sense. If you're not following, I'm sorry. I'm trying to explain the best I can. And then, for example, Twin Towers, okay, is 166. Upside down and backwards is 991, or 9, and 9 plus 1 is 10, 910, or 9th of October. See, this refers to these dates. And then right here, these both of these are hiding that day on the Julian. So this is the day on the Gregorian, 9th of October, and then 13 days earlier would be 926. Well, is this hiding 926? Yes. 2 9s and 6. 2 9s and 6 is 9 in the middle of 26. I'm just telling you, that's some of the way I've shared a lot of the way these things in previous videos, if you don't know. Also, another thing, 4 is hiding 9 because it basically has a similar shape. 4 is hiding 9, and that's 926, 926. We have 926, 9 in the middle of the 26, and add 13 days to that, and you have October 9th. Okay, I'm just saying. Okay, and then if you do the Twin Towers, some people would say Twin Towers or the Twin Towers. Oh, look, you have 166 and you have 199 upside down backwards. Look how this matches. It's crazy. So you literally, again, have 10-9, October 9th, plus 1 is October 10th. Again, 10-10 is when it's reported that they're dead. If this is right, 25. See? 10-9 plus 1. The day that happened, they would die on 10-9. It's reported that the next day is a reporting day, 10-10, and then 25 backwards. And then the day, Trump would be killed, when he relates to New York, and he was in New York, and he commented about when it was attacked back in 2001 and all that stuff, and he said he saw it, he watched it happen, and all this other junk, which is not true. Okay, which is 10, 1 plus 9 is 10, 14. Remember I said New York is going to be attacked with the nukesals and Manhattansals on, if this is right, 10-13. It's going to be reported on 10-14. 1 plus 9 is 10, and then 1 and 4 is 14. Okay, hopefully it makes sense. Okay, regarding 9, 1, and then 1 back in 2001, doing this in digital so you could see it really nicely upside down and backwards. But I've shared for years how 9, 1, and then 1 in 2001, this event is 9, 1 plus 1 is 2, and then 2 plus 1 is 3. And I've shared this many times, and I know it relates to this. In fact, there's a picture of the explosion coming out of the towers, one of the towers, and then it literally makes a 9, a 2, and a 3 because they did something in Photoshop with it or something, and it went out in a major paper in New York. And I showed how you could see the 9, 2, 3 pretty clearly in the explosion because that's all the predictive program. They're showing that in front of people and they have no idea. So then watch, you take this and you flip it upside down and backwards, and you just happen to have 10 and then 21 right there, 21, and then 1 plus 6 is 7, and 7 is basically 2 plus 5. So you literally have 923, the pre-day on the Julian, and you have 1021, and 7 is basically 2 plus 5, or 10, 21, 25. The pre-day on the Julian and the last day on the Gregorian on my timeline. Look at that. 923 the pre-day and 1021 on the Gregorian. So it encompasses this whole timeline from Julian, beginning of Julian to the end of the Gregorian, this whole thing. And there it is right there. That's another coincidence, massive coincidence. We take that. And I've been told by the Lord, and I've said this in my videos in the past, he said every single event in the timeline is a version of 9-1 and then 1 that happened in 2001. And that was just a predictive programming event for what's coming in these 14 days, which is all these events that are going to culminate into the end of the United States. The end of Mystery Babylon, as we know it. Okay, well, there'll be nothing left. I mean, and then other countries like China and Russia and other countries with them will invade and get all our resources and capture people that are left and all kinds of stuff. It's nuts. I know my wife's had dreams about that. Other people have. I see the predictive programming all over the place. This is going to happen at some point. If you didn't know, you need to know. It's coming. Come to Jesus. Come get close to him. If you wow, come to Jesus, man. Have you come to Jesus moment right now and get to know him if you don't know him. I mean, seriously, a lot of people believe in him, who he is, but they don't follow him and do what he says and live their life for him instead of themselves. And that's a massive mistake. And if you're still alive during all this time, and even during the tribulation, you're going to have to learn that at some point. If you have a chance at all, you're gonna have to learn to follow and trust in the Lord with all your heart. Lean not unto your own understanding. In all your ways acknowledge him, and he shall direct your paths. Most of Christendom and Dumber and most of American churchianity doesn't do that at all. They don't listen to Jesus. They don't do what he says, and they don't sacrifice at all, or very little. My life is about that. I literally live for this. I do this stuff to warn people because the Lord told me to do this 10 years ago, or to start telling people 10 years ago. But I've been doing my YouTube channel for a little over 7 years now, and it's been rough. It's been the hardest thing I've ever done in a lot of ways because I'm relying on him. I'm relying on donations and all that stuff to support my family and everything. And it's just it's especially this last year and 6 months has been impossible. It's been almost impossible, next to impossible. It's been so hard to go through all this stuff and live like this, and we just scrape by, man. Lord keeps us going, thank God, and he's amazing and gracious and good and all that, but man, it's been rough as it can be. So here we go. Again, right here, now let's do this again. I'm going to go boom. Now watch. Another way of looking at this is you got 923 and then 10. There's a few different ways, but 10, 2 plus 1 plus 16 is 1019. And I'm going to show you how this relates to Trump, or to Melania and Barron, the day they die. Whatever that day is going to be, and if on this timeline, if it's tomorrow, the next day, it is. So with rule of Kalal, you can take away any one, that's 10-9, and then the reporting day is 10, 1 plus 9 is 10, 10, 10, 10, and 10-9. Okay, and then up here, another option here is this right here is 10 backwards, 10, so let's go backwards, 10, and then we have 2 plus 1 plus 1 plus 9 is 13. And this is the day that New York is attacked on the Gregorian. This is on the Gregorian as well, 9th and 10th of October. Both Trumps, Melania and Barron, and then Trump himself will be killed on 10/13 when nukes goes off in Manhattans. And even Obama said that. I'm not worried about this. I'm more worried about a nuke going off in Manhattan. He literally said exactly what's going to happen when he said that at Paris Peace Accords or something like that, whatever it was. Something like that. Anyway, and then look, she just happens to be right now 55 years old, and Barron happens to be 19 because we're looking at 10-19, or backwards 9, 1, and then 1, like I said. Also, she was born on April 26, 1970. And remember I said April's 4. Remember 4 is hiding 9. So you have 926 plus 1 is 927. 926 and 27. And then you can take away the 9, and then 7 is 2 plus 5. Yeah, just crazy. And then you go to this actual day, and because that's 9 is actually October 9th is September 26th on the Julian. But they see how this 4 could be a 9 and 926 plus 1. It's crazy. And then that's 55 years. She's 55 years old and 166 days at this point tomorrow. And 166, like I showed you earlier, that 166 and that 199 is upside down and backwards. 9 plus 9 plus 1 is 19. So we have 10-19. 10-19 from their age, hiding 10-19. Do we have 10-19 from his birthday to that day? Oh, yes, we do. his birthday, Barron's birthday, to October 9th, the day he dies, if this is right, 1019 weeks. 1019, 1019, 1019, or 9 1 and then 1 backwards, 9 1 and then 1 backwards, 9 1 and then 5 plus 5 is 10, which is 1 backwards. I'm just saying, hey, whatever. So again, 9 10. They're if this happens on this timeline, if this timeline is the real one, then they die at 10-9 tomorrow. It's reported on 10-10, and that's 9:26 on the Julian, 9:27 on the Gregorian. I mean, wow, 9:26 on the Julian and 9:27 on the Julian. Death day, reported day. Okay. So anyway, and then this is one of many examples. I've showed many movies and stuff over the years on videos and such videos I've done. Here's one of, for example, because it hits a lot of similar things, and I'll show you some symbolism, gematria, things like that, and how they even explain it. So this is crazy. This is called the salvation. Okay, now watch this. This is exactly what it says on IMDb and a description of the movie. Okay, so the American West we'll do this again. The American West in the 1870s, a European settler, John Jensen, this guy, has just welcomed his wife and son. I'll do this. John, as in Donald John Trump, has just welcomed his wife and son to the country when they are kidnapped and murdered. Again, John's wife and son. Okay, John is in Donald John Trump. Wife and son are kidnapped and murdered. Okay, he takes revenge on the murderers only to discover that one was the brother of a local land baron, Henry Delarue, whatever. Look, son and baron. See, they show this stuff in all kinds of ways. Okay, and people don't pick up on it. They just don't. Okay, and then it just keeps going. You can read the rest of this. He takes vengeance against them. So basically what's going to happen, I've shared this many times, this is in all kinds of movies and TV and everything like that. And even people not named John, there's people named, you got John Matrix, you got John Wick, you got John, and you have John McClane, who his wife is kidnapped, or basically held hostage. Again, wife. Sometimes it's a wife and child, sometimes it's just the wife, sometimes it's a wife and a son, sometimes it's a wife and a daughter. It's all general symbolisms. And you have these Johns, you have these other characters that have different names. You have and they do Frank, you have, and because they're the numerology, Frank Castle was the Punisher, his wife and his child were killed. He comes back to revenge. So basically Trump's family's going to get killed by an Iran-based terrorist group, Iran-backed terrorist group, and then he's going to go against him and his action is going to cause World War III, and everybody's going to blame him and all the Christians and conservatives that have backed him, and then they're going to be hunted. They're going to be hunted in Red October. Okay, anyway, they're going to be hunted in Red October. Okay, so then watch this. Here we go, boom. So this is an English Shema. This whole thing is English Sumerian, which is 29266. Now, there's a few things going on here. Okay, first of all, wow, see the 266, which is 923, and then 2 9s is 99. So check this out. 2 9s is 99. 923 is the 266th day of the year with 99 days left over. Our 2 9s is 99. The 923, the pre-day, is the 266th day of the year, whether it's on the Gregorian or on the Julian, and it looks like it's on the Julian that they're counting the pre-day of this timeline, or it's next year, or it's another 920 they add on, but it's most likely this. Okay, but we'll see. I don't know. I don't have a crystal ball. I don't know the future. And the Lord hasn't told me specifically. He just gives me all kinds of clues and breadcrumbs on the trail. Okay, so the 266th day of the year is 923 with 99 days left over, or 2 9s is 99. That's crazy. Also, what this means, I'm going to color code it right here. Boom. Look, 926, that's when his family is killed. His wife and his son, Baron, are killed on 926. Hello, McFly. Okay, and then what's even also here is 6 is made up of 1 plus 5. So I'm color coding this even more. So 926, they're killed, plus 1, the reporting day of 25. Do you see? Do you have eyes to see the truth? whatever this is, there's programming right in front of your face. And if you deny that, you don't know what you're talking about. You don't know what you're actually seeing. I'm trying to show you with all kinds of different evidence and things I've done for years. All the stuff that's right in front of your face, and you need to see that. If you don't see that, if you're with me and you already know, and okay, good for that. But if you need to understand, you're being programmed every single day, and every single oh my gosh, I could show this this Atlas object, which is it's the latest the latest like pictures and video of it going by Mars or whatever. It's technological. It's crazy, but it's part of Project Bluebeam. It's all a lie. It's all deception, and it's going to be part of the alien thing that's coming very soon. In the timing on this, and 3i Atlas is literally an anagram and with a little bit of a tweak for aliens. It's crazy. It's so crazy, and I could show you that. And I should have maybe, but there's just too much to show people. There's just too much. Okay, the salvation is what it's called. And look, 146 is 1, 4 plus 6 is 10. Or then, the Twin Towers were 110 stories high. Or 1st of October is when Trump will be killed. And then 30 days later is 1014. Okay, or that's also 11 is 10 plus 1. And then you have a 0. Again, 1010 is when the Melania and Trump, the wife and the son, Baron. Okay, and then 17 plus 8 is 25. So that's the year. So you have Trumple's day on the Julian. You have their reported day on the Gregorian of Trumple and Melania. Melania and Baron. Sorry. Oh, by the way, Baron is also Trumple because one of his pen names was Baron. In fact, that's one of the reasons why he said he named his son Baron, because he had a pen name. His name was, and if you know anything about Ingersoll Lockwood writing the book Baron Trump's Marvelous Underground Journey, which was written in 1889 at first, and 1889 is 18 plus 8 is 26, and 9 is it's 26-9, and his Marvelous Underground Journey is about him going underground or dying. If you go under the ground, you're dying. Okay, anyway, it's semantics. Anyway, or it's well, I'm trying to think of what the term is. What I'm trying to say, it's whatever. I'm tired. Okay, anyway, and then he is Trump. He is John Trump because watch. 1 plus 7 is 8. 8 is 88. And 1 plus 46 is 47. See? 47. 1 plus 7 is 8. 88. Okay, and there's a lot of other reasons why. Okay, and then this little saying underneath the salvation says, bad men will bleed. Bad men will bleed. In English Sumerian and reversing Sumerian, how the different gematrias, and I use basically the main 6 that I'm talking about, English and reverse, full reduction and reverse full reduction, and English Sumerian, which is English ordinal times 6, and reverse English Sumerian is reverse English ordinal times 6. So anyway, they work together to make dates and such, and I'm going to show you for example. So 7 is hiding 2 plus 5, 3 plus 8 is 11, and 1 plus 1 is 2. So we have 20, 25. And then look, we have 9 in the middle of 26 plus 1. That's when they're going to die. Like I'm saying, if this is right, and this is the right timeline, I think 926 on a Julian plus 1, 2025. Hopefully that makes sense. Okay, it's crazy. Okay, another thing I want to share towards the end of this video here. I've shared this many times, but I'm going to share this again because it's the same day. 9/26 and 27 on the Julian is 10/9 and 10/10 on the Gregorian, or October 9th and October 10th, which are coming tomorrow, the next day. So if this is the right timeline, Ukraine is going to be nuked. And in its name, not only is Ukraine equals 79 and Barack Obama equals 79, the way it is translated back from Aramaic Hebrew, because it's all about him, and all these different things are earthquake equals Barack Obama, school shooting equals Barack Obama. I mean, all these different things equal, all these other horrible things equal that. But right in the middle of Ukraine is Ray, a town in Ukraine, and right around it is Nuke, Nuke Ray is what it shows. And there's a town in Ukraine called Ray. Hey, and I've shown how this is shown all kinds of ways in movies and TV. The guy, people named Ray and explosions and all kinds of stuff have to do with this. And then Ray is a town, and right next to this Berezny, and it's a two-town area that's going to get nuked. And I have all kinds of evidence of this. In fact, it's even in the President Carter's. I'm trying to remember what he was. He was his advisor, main advisor. He was Lyndon Johnson's main advisor, and then he was President Carter's not chief of staff, but something like that. I can't remember now. He was Zbigniew Brzezinski, and his name literally means the big nuke. Brzezinski is Breziny. Ski means to own or to be part of. So it's the nuke that's in Berezny. The big nuke in Berezny is what Zbigniew Brzezinski means. It's so crazy. It's a big nuke in Berezny. Zbigniew Brzezinski. Hopefully that makes sense. It's crazy. I've proven it. I showed it in a video years ago, a couple years ago, I think. And this stuff's all over the place. It's in so many different things. It's in people's names, and stuff's crazy. Okay, stuff's crazy. Now watch this. Ray Berezny is the two town, Ray and Berezny, okay? Because I found a bunch of stuff that showed that they're linked together, and this is crazy. So Ray Berezny nuke. Now watch this. 923, the pre-day, plus 1, 924, plus 2, let's do that, 923, so let's move the 9 over here, switch the 9 to 2, so backwards, 923, plus 1 is 924, plus 2 is 926, plus 1, 927. So 926 and 927 again, which is October 9th and October 10th on the Julian calendar. You just add 13 days to the Julian. And that's just another coincidence, and I've said it would happen on those days, and that just happens to be the third and fourth day on the Julian and on the Gregorian, and that's what it shows. Also, okay, so I have Ray Berezny nuked, or how about this? Ray Berezny Ukraine, because they're both in Ukraine. Ray Berezny Ukraine nuked. Look at this. 27th of September 2025 backwards. That's got to wake you up a little bit. If it doesn't, I don't know what's going on with you. I mean, look at that. Wow. Okay, I'm just going to leave it at that and leave it nice and short and sweet, somewhat short and sweet. And leave you with Mr. Baloney Head. Okay, he's the guy named Trump who gives us a bunch of baloney, and I call him Trump Balonius. He's the guy, Trump, who gives us baloney. Trump Balonius. Trump Balonius, I call him Trumple Thin Skin, all kinds of stuff. And again, I'm not liberal or something. Both sides are a lie. If you believe in the two-party system, you don't know what you're talking about. There's no such thing as a vote mattering. They've been controlling this thing since the very beginning, and it's an illusion that you have a choice about it. And there's evidence of that. There's evidence that all the presidents, pretty much, except for one, Martin Van Buren, are related. They're directly related to one of the kings of England. And for that to be, they're all cousins, and that's all been proven. You can look it up. And and the chance of all these different presidents being directly related to John Laughlin, one of the kings, who was the father, I believe, of Longshanks, for all them to be related directly to him is absolutely impossible, and that they would all eventually be president. It's all that means it's controlled. And if you don't realize that, then you don't know anything about anything. So if everything's controlled, and voting is an illusion. So it's all about control. It's about everything going to one world government, one world dictator, one world religion, and that which the Pope's going to head up and Obama and all that stuff. So anyway, I'm gonna leave it at that. So I want to thank you, anybody who's ever given a good positive comment, prayed for us, me and my family. We need it, especially when I've been sick and all that stuff and everything else all the time, because I get attacked all kinds of ways. And also given to us. I mean, I recently was on Telegram a few weeks ago, well, maybe over a week, and we had no money for food, and then thank you for the ones who gave, and Thank you so much. And even everybody in the past, thank you so much. I give this opportunity to thank people because I used to know contact or anything, and that Lord just says, just pray for them, and and I'll take care of it, and just do what you do, and then thank them at the end of your videos. So I thank everybody who's ever given. Thank you so much. You've given money to us in any kind of way, prayers, positive comments, all that stuff, any kind of positive stuff for us. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. And then I also take this time at times when the Lord wants me to, or when I have to, and He says, "Go for it." Because sometimes He's like, "Yeah, don't get into it right now," or "Don't worry about it right now." And because I do my best to listen to Him, that's my thing. And so we're a bit short again of rent. We have to pay our rent in about 6 days, and we're over $1,000 short. So if you're able to give, please, we really need it. I rely 100% to support my family on this. It's just the way the Lord wants me to do it. If you don't agree with that, I'm sorry, but that's what I'm supposed to do. I'd rather work. I'd rather do other things. And I've made good money doing different things in the past. He's had me, be a pauper and a prince in the stuff I've done. I've made as much as almost $100,000 a year. I've made $20,000 a year working for Habitat for Humanity. I mean, and mostly it was volunteering, but I still got paid a little bit to survive. I did that for 2 years. I worked for, it's crazy. I mean, and I was able to minister to different people and heal different people. And there was a bunch of things that happened for me and all kinds of stuff. And it was for a couple of years, and we didn't make anything. I mean, actually, we made probably a little bit more than I'm making right now with donations. It's crazy. And I don't complain. I rarely complain about anything, because I'm so blessed. But we scrape by with donations. We do. It's just scraping, and we have to, a lot of things we can't plan for and all that stuff. Anyway, I'm just going to leave it at that. If you're able to give, please, in the description box below, there's you can sign up at ZellePay at ZellePay.com. It's a lot of banks do it through their app, and they have Zelle, and you can transfer money free, no cost or whatever, and no cost to me either, which is nice. Also, I have a link you'll see in the description box below, for that's a general link but it's for PayPal, but it's also, you can use Venmo and other ways to pay than just PayPal. You don't have to be a member of PayPal either. Or you can pay through Venmo. If you have Venmo, you can pay through credit card. I mean, all kinds of stuff. Anyway, thank you so much for anyone able to give. We need it badly. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I prostrate myself before you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Please, thank you for your donations at all. We need it very badly. And also, is my son's birthday is coming up, and I haven't been. I'm a few. Wow. And so I had to buy a couple things, but I can't buy anything else. It calls small things for my son because I'm $1,000 short of rent. And how can I possibly justify buying anything? I've got to tell my wife no on all kinds of stuff because I'm waiting on donations, and I can't. That's just the way it is. I'm just being honest with people and transparent. That's it. I don't like sharing all this. I prefer not to share the details of our lives, but it's what the Lord wants me to do, and it keeps me super humble. How can you have any pride and do what I'm doing right now? You can't. It's so funny. I've had a few people over the years, even someone real recently, say, "Oh, what a racket! You get people give money to you, and you make so much money." I make nothing. I mean, I'm thankful for some regular givers and unique givers here and there and all that stuff. But man, I make nothing. We scrape by. And again, I'm not complaining. I'm just saying that's what it is. If anybody's thinking we make money, we never do. I mean, there was only one time a few years ago we got a big chunk from somebody, and then another big chunk a few months later, and we basically didn't spend hardly any of it because eventually it went away because it just made we knew that there was going to be some leaner times, and then we didn't get times where we didn't get very much donations, and then it just went right away. So it's not like we got a chunk and we're like, oh, we're going to Bahamas. Anyway, I'm gonna leave it at that. I'm just trying to be real and everything with everybody. We just need donations. I mean, we're scraping by, and that's just how we live. And I've been putting this out here, warnings for everybody as much as I can. And I just, I haven't done it super recently, but I've been doing it every couple of weeks because we're closer and closer, and it's just getting more crazy and more crazy and more crazy. and we're just so close. I know we're so close, whatever it is. So anyway, I'll leave it at that. This is Exalted Lamb 1. God bless you. Over and out.